Monday morning, 6:45 a.m., April 27, 1998. Daybreak at Barnesville, Georgia. The men of Norfolk Southern's Track Maintenance Gang Number 278 and Tie Patch Gang Number 2 are up and about, readying for another day's work. There's jovial conversation as the men await their foreman, Michael Jackson, to conduct the morning briefing.
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Reuben, you mind reading 814 and 815 out of the rule book?
Good morning. 814, automobile type high rail cars and carry-out van must not exceed 35 miles per hour. Other on-track equipment must not exceed 30 miles per hour. On-track equipment must at all times be prepared to stop within half range of the vision. Speed must be adjusted.
Willie B, you mind giving a quality tip for the day?
Quality tip for the day: be your brother's keeper, look out for everyone.
The meeting continued with discussions about watching out for grease on the rail when tramming, three-point contact, driving safety, expecting the unexpected, setting spikes properly, and Foreman Jackson reviewing the steps required at all morning briefings.
Anyone having close calls to report? Okay, we got the job briefing for the day. We're gonna be working around live tracks. Watch out for your fellow worker. We ain't got no track time. Don't get in the track. We're gonna go down to Arkwright and get the machines, and we're gonna go up to the 226-4 on the main track and start gating. All right, there might be a possibility that we might have to move the machines to Juliet tonight. Does anybody have any questions? All right, well, let's get our exercises, and then once we get through with our exercise, we'll head to Arkwright.
Today, two gangs, Track Maintenance Gang Number 278 and Tie Patch Gang Number 2, will be working under the supervision of the track maintenance foreman. At the end of the day on Thursday, their track equipment, Spike Puller 105, Spike Puller 7601, and Nipper Spiker 105F, was tied up on the storage track at the siding at Arkwright.
I won't be able to give you any track time till around noon, over.
All right, thank you, dispatcher. This is NS MW&S Jackson out. All right, well, we can't get no track time the afternoon, dispatcher said. So, Foreman Carnes, would you mind bringing the two machines out? And I'll let Reuben and Esau stay down here with you.
All right, Mike, be glad to do it.
All right,
we'll get some track time.
All right, we're gonna go up there and start edging on that curve. Come on here, man.
NS Maintenance Foreman Carnes. I've got time in the siding between Dames and Arkwright until released with no restrictions, over.
That's correct, over.
Thank you, Carnes out.
Smoothing foreman Carnes, followed by maintenance equipment operators Johnson and Williams, traveled north on the siding to the interlocking at Dames. Upon arriving at the Dames interlocking, Foreman Carnes received time on Form 23A, number 117, from thermite welder Tim O'Neill to proceed through the interlocker. Johnson and Williams used his time also and proceeded on with Carnes. Carnes then got clearance on Form 23A, number 124, to travel north between Dames and Shearer, with a restriction not to pass milepost 223H northbound. Foreman Johnson and Operator Williams traveled along with him as far as the work site at milepost 226.4.
Mr. Williams, we need to pull 100 ties through here so we can gauge it up.
NS Maintenance Foreman Carnes called Bridge Foreman Mr. Bush, over.
Go ahead, this is Bridge Foreman Bush, over.
Yes, this is a track foreman, Mr. Carnes. I'd like to get permission into your limits there on the main track between Dames and Sheriff.
Okay, it's on Form 120. And limits between Dames and Sheriff. Restrict not to pass milepost 223 southbound, over.
All right, I understand you have 23A number 120 on the main track between Dames and Sheriff. Restrictions do not pass milepost 223, letter H, southbound.
Carnes proceeds on northward toward Shearer. Jackson, having heard Carnes get protection from Bush, called the dispatcher for his own time.
South End Atlanta dispatcher, over.
This is NS MW&S Jackson. I want to see about getting the main track between Dames and Sheriff, and I will not pass milepost 223, letter H, northbound.
All right, Mr. Jackson, give you track time 23A number 125 to Jackson. Use main track between Dames and Sheriff until released. Restrictions do not pass milepost 223 northbound. And Mr. Jackson, I need you in the clear at 3 o'clock, over.
That's 125. Jackson may use the main track between Dames and Sheriff until released. Restrictions do not pass milepost 223, letter H, northbound, and understand I got to be in the clear by 3 o'clock.
That's right, Mr. Jackson, 3 o'clock. Now that 23A number 125, repeated and plugged, 12:59, 12:59 p.m. Over.
That 125 blocked in at 12:59 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Dispatcher out.
Thank you, dispatcher. This is NS Foreman Jackson out. NS Foreman Jackson, the Foreman Carnes on the smoothing gang, over.
All right, Mr. Jackson, this is Maintenance Way Foreman Carnes, over.
Foreman Carnes, I done got my mainline time between Dames and Sheriff. I want to clear that 124 main track between Dames and Sheriff on your limits, over.
All right, Mr. Jackson, I understand. So you're clearing your limits between Dames and Sheriff on order 124 at 1 o'clock p.m.
I'm cleared 124 main track between Dames and Sheriff on your limits at 1 o'clock p.m.
Cards out.
And that's Maintenance Way Foreman Jackson out.
How's it going, Mike?
Well, that's going all right, boss.
I just want to come by and let you know that you'll have to tie back up at Arkwright tonight. I've got a ballast train coming out of Macon. I need you to help me unload it.
All right, well, as soon as we finish gauging this up, the dispatcher told me I had to be in the clear by 3 p.m.
Okay, see you later.
All right, take it easy.
NS South End Atlanta dispatcher calling Maintenance Way Foreman Jackson, over.
Go ahead, dispatcher. You got Foreman Jackson, over.
Mr. Jackson, I need you to get in the clear of the main line. I got 2 southbound trains, over.
I understand, dispatcher. We're going to head back towards Dames, over.
Roger out.
And that's Maintenance Way Foreman Jackson out. Reuben, we're going to have to back up to Dames, getting us clear for 2 southbound trains.
Okay, Mike.
And then we got to, before you enter the siding down at Dames, I got to talk to BJ West to get permission to enter his limits.
Okay, we understand.
Foreman Jackson told Relief Foreman Johnson that they would have to clear the main track because 2 southbound trains were coming. But that was not enough. He should have gotten everyone together and told them, especially the other equipment operator, M.J. Williams. Everyone on location should know about anything that concerns their safety, especially when trains are coming.
Esau, we got to go short of Dane. Stop short of the signal, wait till Mike get permission for us to go in the siding.
Go to the dam, stop short of the signal, wait for Mike to get permission to go on the side. I understand.
NS Masonway Foreman Jackson to NS Flagging Foreman BJ West, over.
This is NS BJ West, over.
BJ, I got 3 pieces of equipment need to head your way, and I need permission to enter the siding at Dames to clear the main track, over.
You have my permission on the siding on Form 23A 125, over.
We have your permission to enter the siding on your Form 23A, number 125, 3 p.m. This is Track Foreman Jackson, out.
BJ West, out.
NS release Foreman Johnson to Foreman Maintenance Wade Jackson, over.
Go ahead, Ruben. You got NS Masonway Foreman Jackson, over.
We're at Dame short of the signals, over.
Okay, Ruben. We got permission to enter BJ's limits on track form 23A, 125. Back up, watching out for BJ West, over.
Okay, Johnson out. NS release Foreman Johnson to Maintenance Way Foreman Jackson, over.
Go ahead, Foreman Ruben Johnson. You got Masonway Foreman Jackson, over.
Approach, out.
I'm in inside in that Dame's in the clear, over.
You in the side behind the signals in the clear at Dames. I'm finna go on to and give the time back to dispatcher, over.
That's correct, Johnson out, over.
South End Atlanta dispatcher, over.
Yes, sir, dispatcher. This is NS Masonway Foreman Jackson. I'm ready to clear up at 125, 23A, the main track between Dames and Cher, over.
All right, Mr. Jackson, we're going to clear up at 23A number 125 at 3:13 p.m. Over.
At 125 in the clear at 3:13 p.m. Over.
South End Atlanta dispatcher, out.
This is Masonway Foreman Jackson out. NS Masonway Foreman MC Jackson to Ruben Johnson, over.
NS Johnson, over.
Yeah, Ruben, come on back and let's tie up and get in the clear, over.
Do you mean come back now, over?
That's correct.
Okay, we're backing up. Johnson out.
Masonway Foreman Jackson out.
Foreman Jackson instructed Johnson to come on back. But which direction did he really mean? And where did he want him to go? Relief Foreman Johnson had been working at Palmer and was instructed to go to the siding at Dames. This movement required him to travel south. Now he was at Dames and was instructed to come on back and get in the clear. Does this mean go back north or go south and clear the siding? In addition to not knowing which direction to travel, Relief Foreman Johnson did not know how far to go. So he made some assumptions. Johnson had been traveling south. He was told to come on back. So he assumed he should go back to Palmer, where they had been working, and clear in the siding there.
He saw the man succumb to the hole.
Come to the hole.
Williams, seeing the switch still set for the siding, assumed he was to travel north. The engineer, seeing the red signal light, slows his train accordingly.
Mike, the ballast train's already out of Macon. Whenever he gets here, we're
NS
gonna go up and unload
Dispatcher
it.
Atlanta, makes way Foreman Jackson, over.
Go ahead, dispatch. You got NS Maceway Foreman Jackson, over.
Any of you or any of your gang done anything to throw a track light on, over?
No, sir. All we done was done some gauging up there, and that's all. We shouldn't have a track light on, over.
Okay, then just checking. South Dispatcher Atlanta out.
NS Maceway Foreman Jackson out.
When operator W.J. Williams arrived at the Palmer sighting, he expected to find Foreman Jackson and the gang. They were not there.
We might have to move the machines to Juliet tonight.
Williams remembered something being said in the morning meeting about maybe tying up for the night at Juliet, and assumed he should go on to Juliet.
Where's Reuben Johnson and the track equipment?
Well, they should have done been here. Let me holler on the radio. NS Maceway Foreman Jackson, the Foreman Reuben Johnson, over. NS Maceway Foreman Jackson, the Foreman Reuben Johnson, over.
Let me try him on the big radio. NS Track Supervisor Cochran, the Foreman Reuben Johnson, over. NS Track Supervisor Cochran, Foreman Reuben Johnson, over. I can't get them on the big radio. I don't know where they're at.
Well, we better go look for them. I'm getting worried about them.
Why don't we put the truck on the track and go look for them? That's a good idea, Mike. Y'all put on the track, and I'll go up the road and see if I can get them on the big radio.
All right, let's do it.
When Foreman Jackson could not contact his men by radio, he went north on the sighting to look for them. Arriving at Palmer, Relief Foreman Johnson expected to see Williams and the rest of the gang, but no one was there, so he proceeded north, trying to catch up with Williams. Meanwhile, Foreman Jackson and Track Supervisor Cochran were still looking for the men and trying to reach them on the radio.
NS Maceway Foreman Jackson, the Foreman Reuben Johnson, over.
NS Track Supervisor Cochran, the Foreman Reuben Johnson, over.
When Foreman Jackson reached the end of the sighting at Dames, he tried to call the dispatcher on the phone, but was unable to. He had no idea where Williams and Johnson were or where they were headed. But he thought it was probably not good. The first of the two southbound trains, I-29, is still traveling south at a reduced speed on the main line. Operator Williams is on his way north to Juliet. Relief Foreman Johnson is also traveling north on the main track, trying to catch Operator Williams.
What the? Is that guy gonna stop? Better hold on, he's gonna run into us.
Unfortunately, what you have seen is true. The collision took place at milepost 219.4 at Shearer. Fortunately, Operator Williams was not killed. This accident could have been prevented if Foreman Jackson had called all of his men together for a second job briefing when he learned that they would be tying up at Arkwright again that night instead of Juliet.
Mr. Cochran come up here a while ago, and he said we wasn't going to be able to tie up at Juliet. We're going to have to go back to Arkwright, the team track where we started this morning, and we got a ballast train we're going to have to unload. And so let's head towards the clear going to Denver.
The accident could have been prevented if Relief Foreman Johnson had questioned Foreman Jackson's instruction to come on back and get in the clear, so he understood exactly where he was to go.
Yeah, come on back and tie up, and we got to get the clear, over.
Let me be for sure what you want me to do. Do you want me to come back to the work site or to go back where we started up last night and get in the clear outright. Over.
That's right. Come on back down the side, and we're gonna tie up in the team track at all right where we tied up last night.
Okay, we're on our way. Over.
Main Square Foreman Jackson out.
NS Johnson out.
The accident could have been avoided if Foreman Jackson had given clear, concise instruction in the first place, rather than saying, "Come on back, tie up, and get in the clear." The accident could have been avoided if Relief Foreman Johnson had told Operator Williams about the 2 southbound trains that were coming. The accident could have been avoided if the people involved had followed the following operating rules. Rule 800 states, operator or employee in charge of on-track equipment will be responsible for its safe movement. Rule 808 states in part, the operator or employee in direct charge of on-track equipment will observe the requirements of Rule 809. Rule 809 states in part, in TC and remote control territory, before on-track equipment enters or fouls main track or siding, employee in charge must obtain authority from control station. Authority must be written on track time form 23A and repeated to control station for confirmation. Authority must specify time, working limits, and tracks to be used, and if practicable, will be made known to employees accompanying equipment. Rule 814 states in part, on-track equipment must at all times be prepared to stop within half the range of vision. The accident could have been prevented if Safety and General Conduct Rule M had been followed. Rule M states in part, employees must not do any work in a manner that will jeopardize their own safety or the safety of others. We were very fortunate that Operator Williams was not killed.
If that train had been going at mainline speed, I would have been killed. That was a bad accident. I don't have no one to blame but myself.
I should have asked more questions to be sure I knew what was happening at all times. I'm very thankful that William didn't get killed. If anything had happened to William, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. There should have been more job briefing discussed whenever any job task has changed.
No job's so important that you cannot take your time to do your duties safely. I'm just like you. I heard this over and over again, and something like this happens to you, believe it, it can happen. It happened to me. Our company's got a lot of rules we got to comply by. And if we follow them, we can do our job safely.
The story you have just seen is true. It has had a serious impact on those involved. If you don't believe it, just ask one of them.